What's up, everyone? It is Denise Salcedo. Welcome back to the channel. As always, we are just bringing to you interviews left and right. And with me today is a very special guest. We have New Japan Pro Wrestling's very own El Phantasmo. What's up?
Oh, Denise, just getting some cardio in before the big weekend.
That's exactly how you prepare, man. Getting the cardio in, doing the interviews, doing the multitasking.
Yeah, this is the only way I would fit you guys in my schedule, regardless.
I love it. I love it. So let's go ahead and chat because I kind of have quite a bit that I want to talk to you about. And, we're going to talk about the New Japan Showdown as well. But I kind of want to get started with, with all of the changes currently going on right now in the world and in the world of wrestling with the pandemic and all of that. You have been one of the few foreigners that has literally gone back and forth between Japan and the US to wrestle. What has that been like for you?
Oh, shit, where do we start? I've been lucky that I've had my visa to be able to go back and forth. But, the longest time that I spent in Japan was 3 weeks before the pandemic. And then this last time I was there for like 9 months straight, which is a little mentally exhausting on top of the physical exhaustion that you endure on the tours in New Japan. So
it's just like a bunch of layers of different things that you have to kind of like deal with, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of shit that most people don't realize. Just like living, we don't get to go home. We're on tour. We're doing these shows. The shows aren't what we want them to be. The fans can't cheer and boo. There can clap only. There's reduced capacities. A lot of the people don't know that the state of emergency in Japan, you couldn't eat at restaurants after 8 p.m. So when you finished your show at Corkin, the only thing you could do was Uber Eats or go to the 7-Eleven. So
how does that impact you? How does that impact your performance as a wrestler? Do you feel that it impacts you where it gets you where obviously, you're not working at the, you're not having the full experience that you normally get, as a performer?
Yeah, 100%. Like when I got there, I was in a hotel for 3 months straight, which is insane. And, when you just think about someone at a hotel, they don't really think about, you don't have access to a kitchen. You don't have access to a sink to clean your protein shaker and stuff. You're really limited with how you can live your life, But I mean, we're doing our thing. It's just, COVID could go away and I'd be very happy.
You started your wrestling career. You went from Canada to Europe to New Japan. That is kind of a different route than a lot of guys have taken. Why was it that you chose that route?
Well, that's a very long question and a very long answer. But to sum it up, I had a really good day job in Canada, which was always in the back of my mind of whether I wanted to give that up to go sleep on the couches in St. Louis to do, those indie shows. So that, along with getting flagged at the border, kind of prevented me from getting into the States. And the UK scene was blowing up, and I was 30, and I needed to get a youth visa by 30. So it was literally like a now or never that I try and make it in wrestling. So I decided to go to England because the Canada, England, Australia has a Commonwealth. And, I got lucky with timing, and I had 2 contract offers within 15 months of going over there. So really, like, I've been wrestling since 2005, but no one knew who I was until 2018. So, I mean, yeah, from 2005 to 2017, I treated pro wrestling kind of like a beer league for ice hockey. It was something that I did on the weekends for fun. But of course, as anyone who ever steps inside a pro wrestling ring, you kind of, you get hit with that disease and you can never get rid of it. No matter how hard you try and walk away, there's something always in you about pro wrestling. And, I would have regretted never have trying to make it as a pro wrestler than going over there and failing. But, I knew I wasn't going to fail. Everybody else around here knew I wasn't going to fail. It was just the timing of when I went after it. And hey, look where we are.
Yeah, exactly. Because, in your, since signing with New Japan Pro Wrestling, you seriously have accomplished a lot. And before I do get to that, because I do want to talk about, New Japan Pro Wrestling, I do want to ask you, since signing, obviously, you've had several accomplishments, including, a three-time IWGP Junior Tag Team Champion with Taiji Ishimori, a two-time Super J Cup champion, Bullet Club member. In terms of like all of that, did you expect all of that to happen? Given that, since 2019, it's been sort of a short time period.
Deep down, I thought it could happen. If you don't have those dreams that it could happen, there's no point chasing them. But when it all started happening and, they're like, you're going to be in Bullet Club, you're like, holy shit. Like, a lot of people don't realize I was wrestling as a babyface the entire time I was in England and Europe. And then literally that one weekend, I was still wrestling babyface, and I flew to Japan, and I had to completely 180 my character on the biggest stage that I've ever been on. So, that was pretty wild.
I could imagine. I could imagine. So now let's talk about the New Japan Showdown. October 16th, October 17th. You got already two matches announced for that night. And not only that, it also is taking place at the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia. As you know, it's a very big, legendary wrestling location. To go on there and to have this show, you have two matches. First of all, night one, you're wrestling Juice Robinson. Night two, you're teaming up with Chris Bay facing Daivari and Leo Rush. What can you tell us? What can we expect, and how much are you looking forward to these 2 nights of wrestling?
I'm very excited to experience the most legendary shithole of them all. I've heard so much about the ECW arena. That's one as a pro wrestler you always want to check off. So I'm very excited to get in there and just really soak in everything that's happened in there. And, I think that tag match is going to be a show stealer of the weekend. Me and Chris Bay teamed up in Impact, and we had one match in Dallas. We got some sick chemistry already, and you got Leo Rush and Daivari coming in. But the crazy thing is everybody loves Juice, and he's the most annoying person in the world. I don't understand why people cheer for Juice. He's got shit costumes, and he's got diarrhea of the mouth. And it's like anybody backstage cannot stand Juice. So I'm so shocked that the people like him. So I'm interested to see what those people in Philadelphia, how they react.
I do have to ask you because, this feud with you and Juice Robinson, you've been able to, we've been able to see that story not just come to fruition on New Japan Strong, but also on Impact Wrestling. How much do you think it's added the fact that you've been able to also further this on Impact as well on top of New Japan Strong?
I think that's pretty cool. I think the way the wrestling industry is these days is, it's kind of everywhere. It's all one thing. It's not separate things anymore. Everybody knows wrestlers wrestle everywhere. So the fact that, Juice has been feuding with Hikuleo and Strong, and then I came in and saved them in Impact, and now me and Juice have our first time ever matchup in New Japan Strong, and then, then we might go back to Japan and rekindle it. It's crazy. It's very cool for the fans. It's very cool for us to be able to not have to pretend like it doesn't exist.
Exactly. I really like that. And here's the thing too, in regards to New Japan Strong, because right now so many of the foreign roster is not able to regularly, go to Japan. How important is it to establish New Japan Strong as a must-see promotion?
Well, I think anybody that goes to the shows knows how good of wrestling that's being put on at New Japan Strong. There's no dumb shit. It's the best wrestlers, the best athletes, the best indie guys, the best former NXT jobbers. They're all coming in, proving that they can hang on that level that New Japan's known for. And it's great for the fans. And, it's cool that we get to do such cool venues. We're not doing those little stupid TV studio, no fan shows. We got 2 days in ECW Arena. Let's go.
Hell yeah. I love it. So now my last question to you is, we've talked about all of your accomplishments so far in New Japan Pro Wrestling. So what is still on your bucket list? What are some of the things you still want to do within New Japan Pro Wrestling and even outside of New Japan Pro Wrestling?
Well, Best of Super Juniors is coming up. That's the big one. I think I'm low-key one of the best wrestlers in a tournament sense. I won the British J Cup. I've won the Germany Light Heavyweight World Cup, the ECCW Pac Cup, back-to-back Super J Cups. The first Super Juniors that I had, I finished second or third. You know, I'm really looking forward to this one. Doing my cardio right now. We're ready. And then, you know, the thing I hate about New Japan the most is the junior and the heavyweight divisions being separate. I think it's pretty stupid. I obviously wrestle a junior heavyweight style, but I'm bigger than about 6 of the heavyweights on the roster that they have. So, you know, I see a lot of those guys, and I think they all know they're just waiting until I come up with them. So when and where, we'll see. But Super Juniors is first on my list, that's for sure.
Check out the show, New Japan Showdown, October 16th, October 17th. I'm going to have all of the links in the description box below. Hi, everyone.